Earlier, President Tinubu met with governors from the All Progressive Congress APC under the aegis of the Progressive Governors Forum at the Presidential Villa. The meeting, which began at minutes past 1 p.m., follows growing calls for nationwide protest against economic hardship. The protests, organized under the hashtag End Bad Governance, have gained significant traction on social media, even as the organizers remain largely anonymous, with no group officially claiming responsibility. All right, let's get some perspective to today's developments on the proposed nationwide protest. I'm joined by public affairs analyst Azim Salako. Azim, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you very much for having me.
I don't know if you saw the video from the traditional rulers, not an outright do not protest, but an appeal for patience with this current administration. Give them time. That's the overriding call. What's your thinking as to the effectiveness of this appeal by the traditional rulers?
Okay, thank you very much. Let me start with the fact that I myself was at a meeting called by the Olota of Ota, so His Royal Majesty Professor Abdul Kabir Obalalege, who is also member of the Ogunsawuri Obaso. We are at a meeting this evening where he also extended the same appeal to the members of the youth constituency, appeal for patience and appeal for alternative means to engage, especially when the youth, which happens to cover the preponderance of population and demographic of Nigeria, when they have any reason to object their government. So on that basis, I followed the conversation this afternoon, and I can say with the pleasure that the government has taken a bold step, engaged with the traditional rulers, because they have a strong connection with the people at the local level. Of course, when we say local level, we do not necessarily mean people who are barbaric, who are illiterate, or people who have a low life. We are referring to people who live at the lowest web of the political structure. However, I think that the engagement with the traditional rulers should have come before now. And then when I say before, I mean the federal government should have adopted the means of engaging the traditional rulers to process most of the policies in which the lack of accessibility to the people has now caught their reason to say they want to
Azim, there are those who would argue on the one hand that the relationship between the people and the traditional rulers is not exactly totally rosy, and the effectiveness of their appeal might hinge on that. Others would say, you're saying that the president should have made this move earlier, but people are saying today seemed to be a marathon meeting with different groups. Isn't it clutching at straws in an effort to stop the protest? Because that seems to be the goal.
Absolutely, I agree with you. I think the perspective in which I was making my argument that this is a marathon, it's a marathon, and if it is not properly and it can be counterproductive because the traditional rulers that the government are meeting now are not really parts of the government. I'm not really part of the governance structure. That's the point I was making. That policies that the government had made which in effect or in turn are now causing this the process through the traditional rulers. So these traditional rulers have become effective, I will agree with you, because they do not really matter to the people, because the governance do not pass through them. So do not have that kind of communication process, the communication proximity with the people. So I just want to argue strongly that I am optimistic that the national rulers will now go back to their and start engaging in the sense that in the most traditional sense. By most traditional sense, I mean using the non-kinetic soft power and appeal methodology to reach out to people and let them understand what the government has in its kitty. Unfortunately, the question.
All right, Azim, I'm told our time is done for this interview, but I'd like you to quickly speak on this aspect. Some point out that the process doesn't seem to have identifiable organizers, despite the many allegations flying around. Others say it gives room for conspiracies that could derail its ultimate goal. What's your thinking here, quickly?
I don't agree with that. I totally don't agree with that. God need not to be concerned about who is organizing what. You know, protests by faceless groups is not an invitation to anarchy. It's a strategy to those who are protesting because they understand the political landscape of where they want to operate. What I think government should do, number one, is that government should ensure that they adopt a protective security mechanism. And what do I mean by protective security mechanism? On August 1st, 2024, if the protest later happened, government and the civil authorities should protect the citizens of Nigeria.
I guess that is their responsibility. The right to peaceful protest is one, and then the security agencies will do the other part. Thank you very much. I'm sorry I have to end our conversation now. Thank you.